Namaskar. Brahmacharya. So Brahmacharya is the fourth yama. There's 5 yamas in total. Yamas are the first limb in Patanjali's 8-limb process to enlightenment. So Brahmacharya. Brahma or Brahman means the greatest expression or unity consciousness or oneness or highest energy or supreme God or all-knowing. So it's the highest level of energy we can understand is Brahman. And Charya is the path. So Brahmacharya is the path to God. Brahmacharya is the practice of being able to control, transform the sacral energy, Swadhisthana chakra, second chakra energy, sexual energy, being able to transform that from sex to the crown chakra, Sahasrara, which is enlightenment. So most of the times, Brahmacharya is interpreted as celibacy. Celibacy is the absence of sex, so you're not having sex. The tantrics still practice Brahmacharya, so tantric is more of a left-wing path, but this was the path of sexual continence. So what that means is you could have a lot of sex, spiritual, with wonderful intention, but you don't ejaculate. So you're able to build that sexual energy and control it. When you build it, control it, that energy then has the ability to transform into the higher energy centers or higher chakras. The purpose of Brahmacharya is to understand that energy so much that it touches the Sahasrara chakra, and then we're in that enlightened state of awareness. So the process is to go from being human and to being a god. And we can do this through understanding the chakra system and moving the energy. Now the issue is when we are told a rule, commandment, and we are trying to obey it, but we haven't understood the energy of it. And you can see what's happened for so long in the rule of celibacy within the church, how it's led to horrendous things, pedophilia, terrible things with sex without consent, and all that you read about. It's coming out in society's conscience a lot more, becoming much more obvious. So Brahmacharya is the path to inner engineering your energy from the sacral chakra and the base chakra, and to move it up. So if we look at pleasure, which is the sexual chakra, so pleasure usually needs someone or something else, where joy, we don't need anyone or anything else. So this energy center is the energy center of pleasure. We have much higher states of consciousness we can reach to once we learn how to not repress it, not ignore it, not pretend it doesn't exist, but really meditate deep into this chakra, into this energy center, befriend that sexual energy, know how to control it, learn pratyahara, the practice to withdraw from the senses, to withdraw from lust, in order for this energy to keep building and building and building higher and higher, so we live in a higher state of consciousness, and eventually sex disappears altogether. So the downward flow, the apanic energy of your sexual energy is ejaculation, which creates a baby. So that's how powerful the energy, especially in men, of a sperm egg, that's how powerful, like an atomic bomb. If that sperm can create a baby, a life, imagine that energy when it's harnessed, when it's controlled, and when it's able to move into higher understandings, higher perceptions. So often in our culture, we feel things, our senses observe them, organs of perception, and then we react, whether it's through lust, sexual pleasure, eating, whatever it is. So the practice of a yogi or someone who practices yoga is you are energy efficient beings. And when you can practice and harness and control your energy so much, you can eventually go without food, you can go without, the body stops aging, you don't need as much sleep, you don't get sick. So the practice of all yoga is learning how to become more energy efficient. When we release that sexual energy downward, it's like we're throwing it out. But when we learn to feel it, not deny it, not shame it, not blame it, but feel it, not renunciate from it, feel it, transform it, then it's allowed to express itself in higher areas of perception. The belly, the heart, the throat, the third eye, the crown. It depends on the individual, where you're at, depending on how much of a practice this becomes for you. In the most religious, orthodox understandings of Brahmacharya, it's absence from sex, absence from lust. In other forms of spirituality, it's spiritual sex, sexual continence, being able to involve yourself with spiritual intimacy, but without having to lose control over the energy, harness it, build it up. So this is Brahmacharya, the path to God of being able to control your energy versus just letting it release the body without another thought. Brahmacharya is the practice that enables us to be able to feel, understand the energy, and transform it. Maybe greater than any other practice, because the energy in the sacral chakra is extremely potent, is extremely powerful. And look at our whole society. You know, it's based around lust. It's based around sex. It's based around just throwing it away. It can be called a suicide when you're constantly releasing the sexual energy without feeling it, understanding it, loving it, controlling it, transforming it into higher realms. Imagine that energy that can create a baby, then put into your belly chakra, or into your heart chakra, or your throat chakra, or your third eye chakra, or your crown. Imagine all of that energy being able to express itself as empathy, or self-expression, or the highest perception, or power that's going to benefit the whole of humanity. Also, Brahmacharya is an amazing practice for the population. So really allowing to choose through self-restraint and control if you want to bring a baby onto this earth consciously versus it just happening. Namaskar.